Hey there everyone, I'm Fox 10 News meteorologist Jennifer Lambers with an update on the tropics. So in case you missed it earlier today, Tropical Storm Sarah formed out in the Western Caribbean, and now we're just continuing to track that system as it moves through the Western Caribbean and is going to be tracking closer towards the Yucatan Peninsula. Now let's go ahead and dive deeper into what we're seeing with Tropical Storm Sarah. So this is going to be the infrared satellite. You can just start to see some of that bubbling taking place just closer towards Honduras and Nicaragua. But here is a look at the current conditions on this system. So we got that last advisory update at noon. We're expecting that next one to come out at 3. So I'll have those details coming up on Fox 10 Live beginning at 3 p.m. It is tracking west at 12 miles per hour. But again, it's just that barely tropical storm right now with those sustained winds at 40 miles per hour. We could possibly see those winds go up at this 3 p.m. advisory update. We're also expecting Sarah to really begin to slow down. It is going to be real slow moving over the next few days, just hanging out in the Caribbean before it moves closer towards the Yucatan Peninsula. Here is a look at that track. So you can start to see just how slowly it's going along. We've actually had to take out a few of the timestamps there, just because by Sunday morning, it's still going to be in the Caribbean. So we're moving through today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and then finally it's going to be Monday morning that it pushes across the Yucatan Peninsula as that tropical depression. So it's also going to be weakening once it moves over land and then begins to emerge into the southern Gulf waters. So this will be something that we continue to watch heading into next week. But if you watched earlier this morning, Matt and myself, we were showing the GFS model. And I will say the models are staying pretty consistent with one another on what they want to do with this system. So there, Sarah, you can just start to see some of that counterclockwise rotation there where we're seeing it where some of the yellow is. And so we get closer towards Saturday into Sunday, and then we start to make it into the early part of next week. So this is going to be Monday afternoon, and it's really hard to make it out here because it's going to be that sloppy system as it's merging into the southern Gulf. But I want you to look across towards the Midwest. That nice blue line, that is going to be a beautiful sight for us because that is going to be a cold front. And so that's typically what we want to see during the month of November to help just keep some of these tropical troubles away from us. These strong fronts come in, they have that steering flow to help push all of that away, and that's really the scenario that's going to be playing out. Now also I want you to look closer towards Florida and Georgia, the Carolinas, just offshore in the Atlantic, and you can start to see some of those wind particles. They're going in that clockwise rotation. That is going to be a ridge of high pressure, and so it also is influencing just a little bit with pushing Sarah over the Yucatan, and we'll slowly begin to pull it back towards that ridge of high pressure once we get into midweek. So I'm going to slowly see if I can move some of this along. There's that cold front that's pushing through the Midwest. There you go, went a little fast there. And then through the southeast. So this will be that picture once we get towards midweek next week. Now, because of that cold front, our rain chances are going to be increasing. Even then, Sarah is wanting to bring in some of that moisture feeding into that cold front that will increase some of those rain chances for us here locally. But other than that, that's going to be what we're getting, is going to be that cold front. It's helping to push all of this away. And so unfortunately, you can start to see that it takes it closer towards Florida, really central to southern, but even then it's sloppy. It's not quite holding itself together, and it will just bring some of that increased moisture to portions of Florida there, but also it will be influencing our surf here. So we're going to have really nice water conditions as we get closer towards the weekend, but then next week we could possibly experience just some of that rough surf out there. But that blue line you see moving across the southeast, that is going to be a beautiful sight, just keeping that tropical trouble away, bringing in some increased rain chances that we need. And the good news, it's midweek, so hopefully that doesn't impact too many plans, because once we get closer towards the weekend, I hope you all are ready for sweater weather. It's not going to be this weekend. It's going to be the following weekend that cold front is likely going to be bringing in some daytime highs in the lower 60s, possibly even the upper 50s for afternoon temperatures for our inland areas. Those morning temps going to be beginning in the 40s, possibly even a few isolated upper 30s. Now here's a look at those rain chances. We're staying quiet today through the weekend, and then we will start to see those chances go up by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So that's going to be really influenced from that cold front as it moves in. And really, we do still need the rain here. We've been talking about the drought conditions, and this map just updated for today. And so we're still experiencing some of that, the moderate, the severe, even the extreme levels. So we do need more of that rain, so that's a good news for next week. But in case you are planning anything for today, tomorrow, the weekend, look at all that sunshine. Now, all that green you see on the map that's moving away from us, that was the cold front that moved through earlier today. And so we saw that move through overnight. It's bringing in some of those northerly winds in the wake of it. That's why it feels better out there. And tracking complete sunshine and clear skies later on for this afternoon and this evening. Things do feel better out there because of that drier air. We're seeing temperatures just ranging really in the 70s, lower 70s for our inland spots, mid to upper 70s as you approach closer towards the coast. Still a little warm over in Pascagoula and Destin. But wait for it for tomorrow morning. Get those jackets and those coats ready because the clear skies overnight, those northerly winds, it's going to feel seasonable for where we should be this time of year as you're stepping out the door for your Friday. I mean, look at those temperatures. It looks fantastic. Upper 40s, the lower 50s out there, feeling just so much better. So again, make sure you have those coats ready to go, especially before you send the kids out the door. But I did want to go ahead and share with you guys my full 10-day outlook. So we have beautiful conditions heading into the weekend. Morning temperatures, they're going to be a bit on the cooler side. So if you've been needing to get something done outdoors, it's loading up. If you need to be getting something done outdoors, this weekend is going to be the time to do it. You can start to see those temperatures are in the 70s. And then looking ahead to next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, there's those rain chances that go up. But I mentioned it, it's a cold front. Look at those temperatures. Friday, daytime high of 60. Saturday, Jason got in there and updated it. Those daytime highs upper 50s. So if anything, we're going to go from temperatures well above average to well below average. That is going to be a sharp cold front. And also that Friday and that Saturday, that is going to be the weekend right before Thanksgiving. So if you want to get into the seasonal spirit, you want to go ahead and bust out some of those sweaters, that's going to be the weekend to do it. I'm either going to be doing it this weekend or next weekend, putting up some of those Christmas decorations. I might do it this weekend. It's feeling better around lunchtime. That way for the following weekend when it's cold outside in comparison to what we've been seeing, you can go ahead and just enjoy some of them. So again, that's going to be a look at the long range, tracking some of those rain chances, tracking the tropics. I know it's November, but we're going to be rooting for some of those cooler conditions heading our way. And then hopefully all that tropical trouble will be done for the season. But a reminder, hurricane season, it does go until November 30th. We just typically don't see as many tropical systems during the month of November because of fronts like this one. They all help to steer that away from us and keep them away. So in case you have any questions for us, just feel free to always drop them below this Facebook Live. As always, all of our meteorologists are on social media. You can just comment on anything we have on there or even just message us directly. We'll always be here to answer any of those questions for you. And you can always message the Fox 10 Facebook page too. And I'm going to be live here soon at 3 p.m. on Fox 10 Live with Shelby and Lee. I hope that you guys can join us. Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith will keep you guys updated on Fox 10 News at 4, 5, 9, and 10 p.m. later on for today. Wishing everyone a good Thursday. We'll continue to keep you updated. Actually, I did want to go ahead and update you guys real quick before I sign off. Hold on. I did just get that new advisory update from the National Hurricane Center. It actually came out a little bit early. No real changes to those sustained winds. They are at 40 miles per hour. So again, stick with me, guys, if you wanted to check in on Tropical Storm Sarah. Just got that new. It's loading up right now. There we go. So sustained winds, 40 miles per hour. That pressure dropped by 1 millibar, but it is slowing down already. It was tracking west at 12 miles per hour. Now it's tracking west at 10 miles per hour. And as we do take a look at that track, so again, no real changes to that speed. I will say that the National Hurricane Center actually backed off on Tropical Storm Sarah holding together once it gets into the Gulf waters. Instead, they just have it more dissipating once we get into the early part of next week. So that weakening trend taking place even quicker than the National Hurricane Center was anticipating. So that would be the good news, possibly just increasing some of that surf once it moves into the southern Gulf waters. But other than that, that's going to be the brand new update from the National Hurricane Center. We'll track Sarah and keep you updated here on Fox 10. Again, I'll have more coming up later on Fox 10 Live.